Welcome to this explainer. Listen, if you're staring down the barrel of company-specific coding rounds right now and just feeling, well, completely overwhelmed by the absolute mountain of material you have to study, take a breath. Seriously. Today, we're fundamentally shifting how you prepare. We're going to break down a highly targeted AI framework that's literally going to transform your study sessions. We're going from just working harder to working brilliantly smarter. Okay, let's dive into this. If you're a college student or a junior developer aiming for big tech, you already know the intense struggle. You are probably drowning in data structures and algorithms right now, DSA. And you know, the standard approach, it kind of feels like trying to memorize an entire encyclopedia. You're blindly solving hundreds of problems, grinding leet code for hours on end, and basically just hoping the right question pops up on test day. But guys, hope is not a strategy. We absolutely need a targeted approach. And we need that targeted approach for the heavy hitters. We're talking OpenText, JPMorgan, Myntra, Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. These are the exact companies where this specific preparation framework works best. Why? Because when you're dealing with giants like these, their coding rounds are highly structured, and they're heavily documented by past applicants. They test very specific competencies. And honestly, knowing exactly what those are before you even write your first line of code, that is literally half the battle. Which brings us to the core of our explainer today, the secret weapon leveraging Claude AI. Instead of endlessly scrolling through forums or, randomly clicking through coding platforms, we are going to use Claude to fundamentally change your placement preparation. This is all about using artificial intelligence to do the heavy lifting of your research. It processes massive amounts of interview data so you can actually spend your time practicing what matters. It's the ultimate game changer. So here's how this AI placement strategy actually works. We're going to ask Claude AI to analyze past interview experiences to identify recurring coding patterns and frequently tested DSA topics. The absolutely crucial words here are analyze and recurring patterns. We aren't asking the AI to teach you how to code. No, you're deploying it as this incredibly fast data analyst, parsing through thousands of past interview logs to find the signal in the noise. It's like suddenly discovering a company almost always tests sliding window algorithms, or maybe they heavily favor graph traversal problems over dynamic programming. Now, knowing the strategy is one thing, right? But execution is everything. Having the exact prompts, basically your cheat codes, is where the real magic happens. So get ready, maybe even take notes, because we are going to walk through the precise, highly engineered phrases you need to use in Claude AI to get the absolute best results for your own prep. I'm preparing for OpenText's coding assessment. Analyze the most common DSA patterns based on interview experiences. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the underlying architecture of the prompt itself. It targets the company directly, sure, but more importantly, it explicitly asks for the most common DSA patterns. It forces the AI to move way beyond just giving you a random list of questions, and instead, it groups problems logically based on what OpenText structurally prefers to test. Or consider this approach. What topics are repeatedly asked in JPMorgan's online assessment? This is just incredibly efficient. Instead of asking a vague question like, what are JPMorgan questions, which is just going to yield unhelpful, fragmented answers, you're explicitly hunting for repeatedly asked topics. You're utilizing the AI to highlight those high-frequency, high ROI areas that you absolutely must master before you even walk into that specific assessment. And we can actually take it a step further with micro-targeting. Analyze Myntra WeForShe coding rounds and tell me the most important problem patterns. Look at how perfectly this narrows down the focus. It doesn't just ask about the company generally, it targets a highly specific hiring event. By asking for the problem patterns for a specific drive, you are extracting laser-focused, highly relevant preparation data that honestly generic searches would completely miss. So the crucial point is that there is a big caveat to all of this. You've got to understand the difference between the right way and the wrong way to use this hack. The right way is using AI to identify underlying patterns. The wrong way? Using AI to predict exact questions to memorize. Listen, AI is not a crystal ball. If you try to memorize exact code snippets, you're going to fail the second the interviewer changes a variable or tweaks a constraint. Master the recurring patterns, though, and you'll be ready to solve literally whatever variation they throw at you. So, armed with Claude AI and these exact prompts, I guess the only thing left to ask is, what pattern will you uncover first? The data is out there, and now you have the exact framework to analyze it faster and way smarter than anyone else in the applicant pool. Get out there, analyze those past experiences, and absolutely crush those rounds. And hey, make sure to follow for more placement explainers just like this one.